Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are embarking on a truly mind-bending journey. We are going to completely rethink our bodies, shifting our perspective away from the classical textbook anatomy of chemical signals and diving straight into the cutting-edge, totally disruptive world of quantum biology and holistic health. Let's kick things off by challenging a really basic, everyday assumption about how you function. Do you view your endocrine system simply as this chemical post office, just sort of delivering physical packages of hormones? Or could it actually be a vast, instantaneously interconnected quantum network? It's pretty wild to think about.
So here's our roadmap for getting there. 1. The classical hormone network. 2. Hormones, mind, and metabolism. 3. The quantum biological shift. 4. Entangled clocks and biophotons. And finally, 5. Natural paths to homeostasis. We're going to bridge all these paradigms to help optimize your system literally from the cellular level up.
All right, Section 1, the classical hormone network. So, in classical anatomy, the endocrine system is all about physical delivery, right? Your glands basically act as highly vascular factories. They secrete their products, which are your hormones, into the fluid sitting right outside your cells. And from there, they just seep into your bloodstream. Your bloodstream then acts as this massive highway, carrying them long distances to unlock very specific target cells. It's a reliable, completely physical system.
You can think of your body's two main control networks kind of like this. Your nervous system, that is like firing off an instant text message to a friend sitting right next to you, fast, local electrical signals. But the classical endocrine system is more like sending a letter through the postal service. It acts a lot more slowly, and it manages these long-term systemic processes across entirely distant parts of your body.
Moving on to Section 2, hormones, mind, and metabolism. Now, the absolute crucial link between your mind and your metabolism is the HPA axis. It's this perfect biological cascade. Imagine, say, getting a really stressful email from your boss at 10 p.m. Boom. That psychological stress instantly triggers your hypothalamus to release CRH. This then prompts your pituitary gland to secrete ACTH. And finally, your adrenal glands just dump cortisol straight into your bloodstream. And just like that, a mental stressor becomes a purely physical, metabolic fight-or-flight response. But here's the thing. Your body absolutely cannot survive in high alert mode forever. To achieve balance, or what we call homeostasis, these systems rely heavily on negative feedback. It acts exactly like the thermostat in your house. Once the heat, or in this specific case, the cortisol, reaches a certain level in the room, it loops back around and signals the furnace to just shut off. The output literally inhibits its own upstream production.
Okay, but what if this slow, classical chemical signaling isn't quite enough to explain the absolute miracles our bodies pull off every single second? That brings us to Section 3, the quantum biological shift. Some recent physiological research completely disrupts the classical textbook view. It suggests that our master biological clock, the SCN in our brain, actually cannot solely orchestrate the incredible synchronization of all our rhythms through purely chemical or electrical means. The timing is just way too perfect. So researchers now believe our bodies have to be using a more fundamental, holistic principle to keep everything ticking in such perfect unison.
An amazing way to grasp this is to think back to that postman analogy we used earlier. Imagine those classical hormones as old-fashioned postmen carrying physical letters. But here is the mind-bending twist. The envelopes they deliver actually contain instantaneous quantum links to a full-body web. The physical hormone is really just the vehicle for a much deeper, energetic, and completely instantaneous connection.
Let's dive deeper into how that works. Section 4, entangled clocks and biophotons.
So how is a quantum web even possible inside of us? Researchers are proposing a pretty stunning model. First up, quantum entanglement. This basically means the biological clocks in your liver, heart, and lungs share a deep, instantaneous connection, reacting to things at the exact same time without any physical signals whatsoever. Second, biophotons. These are tiny particles of light, literally emitted by your cells to enable this coherence. And finally, that SCN hub in your brain acts as the central quantum coordinator. This means your organs aren't just sending chemicals, they are actually glowing and communicating through incredibly fast light particles. No way, right? There is this incredibly exciting, albeit speculative, model exploring how DNA-bound hormones and light might facilitate ultra-fast, high-fidelity communication directly from the brain to trillions of your cells. It's a massive idea that bridges the gap between quantum physics and molecular biology. So, with all of this mind-expanding science on the table, how do we actually practically use it? Section 5. Natural paths to homeostasis. The really amazing thing here is how simple lifestyle habits have profound dual effects on both paradigms. Take eating a high-fiber diet. It increases your classical insulin sensitivity, sure, but it also provides broader quantum metabolic stability. Getting proper sleep, or sleep syncing, that balances your chemical melatonin while physically stabilizing those entangled SCN quantum clocks. And medication literally lowers your physical cortisol and heart rate while simultaneously harmonizing your entire energetic neuroendocrine web. And studies actually confirm this. Mind-body interventions like yoga and meditation physically restore automatic and neuroendocrine balance that quite literally increase your rest and digest parasympathetic activity and reduce pro-inflammatory markers. You are optimizing your internal network, balancing your psychology and your metabolism, both chemically and vibrationally. And the absolute foundation for all of this, the magic number is 7. Aiming for a minimum of 7 hours of high-quality sleep is absolutely critical. It ensures your cellular energy and your circadian signaling remain properly tuned. This allows your body to naturally produce and balance its hormones exactly as it was designed to, keeping your mind sharp and your metabolism just humming along. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought. If your cells truly are quantumly entangled, and your daily habits basically act as your biological software, what exactly are you programming into your biological web? Because every single meal, every meditation, and every hour of sleep is a signal. Make sure it's the right one. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.